Welcome back to the second part of the introductory lesson to the English CBA 1. In this slide, we're going to look at the topic in which I have chosen for you all to complete your CBA 1 on. So students will complete the CBA 1 on the topic, A Place Where I Belong. Students must talk for 3 minutes about a specific place where they feel they belong the most, and this can be anywhere. So it can be in your home, it can be in school, your sports team, your music club. It can be your favourite place to go on holidays. It can be abroad or in Ireland, or it can be simply underneath a tree reading your favourite book. So this topic must be presented through the use of either Google Slides or Prezi presentation. And students should demonstrate key understanding of the topic by including pictures in their presentation. So you can take a picture of a physical photograph that you have at home and upload it to your presentation, or you can use a photo from online. So let's say your favorite place where you feel you most belong is somewhere abroad and you want to use a more public photo. You can, of course, copy and paste a photo from online. However, I do ask that you also copy and paste into your presentation the image or website address or the URL where you got the image from, just so I know that you got it from online. So as well as this, when you are presenting, I want you to use very personal and reflective speech. So if you want to refer back to our notes on the segment that we did on writing with purpose, where we touched on personal writing, writing to persuade, etc., you will find the features and the language styles which will help you when it comes to your actual presentation and your speaking moment. And lastly, I want to see high standards of articulation during your oral communication, so a good variety of different words. So moving on to the actual presentation, and as you can see at the very top, there is the link to the website URL, so the English Tips with Miss Connolly, which is our classroom website. So you must deliver your CBA 1 through the use of either Google Slides or Prezi presentation. And I know that this point keeps coming up, but it's so important that you know to use either of these and no other format. So I don't want to see any Microsoft PowerPoint presentations. I want to see either Google Slides or Prezi presentation. So for those of you who are unaware on how to use either of these formats, so for those of you who were absent, please refer to the website and go into the menu and the drop-down menus of second year, which will bring you to the drop-down menu of the classroom-based assessment, which will bring you to the further drop-down menu of the different parts within the classroom-based assessment, and select Part D, where you will find many resources, including a Word document that will demonstrate how to use Google Slides, and another document that will show you how to access and use Prezi. So for those of you who were in class for the introductory lesson, you have already received handouts of these two documents. However, for those of you who were absent or perhaps have already misplaced these handouts, you can access them through the website. So please refer to any of the other parts under the drop-down menu to help you with the completion of your CBA. And there are other resources on the website that will help you with your studies on the English curriculum. So one thing I want to really emphasize is that you are being assessed on how well you communicate and not on the amount of information you present on your slides. So please refer to the presentation do's and don'ts to recap. And again, for those of you who were in class during the week, you have already received handouts on the do's and don'ts. However, if you were absent or again have misplaced them, you can access the do's and don'ts document on the classroom website. So you might be wondering what you should include in your presentations. So there are 2 templates on the class website that will guide you on how to access and use either formats. So the layout of your presentation is completely up to you, but here are a few tips to help you along the way. So you are being assessed on your communication skills, okay? So it's an oral communication. You are not being assessed on the amount of information you fit into a slide. So keep the information on your slides to a minimum. You can use bullet points to help you with your speaking moment to prompt you on what to say, but don't fill your slides with loads of information. So you must include some visuals. So seeing as you're talking about a place where you feel you must belong, I would love to see some pictures of this specific place. And feel free to bring in a hard copy of your visual to show and discuss during your presentation. So try and include a subtitle. So when you create your presentation, on your very first slide, you will have a place where I belong and then a subtitle. So for example, a place where I belong, my home, my happy place. So your overall title of the topic is a place where I belong, but if you can add in something a little bit more, so your subtitle that's personal, I would love to see that. You only have 3 minutes to speak, so keep to your important points. Okay, so it's so important that you remember you only have 3 minutes to speak. So use your time wisely. And most importantly, have fun and be enthusiastic. You're telling me about a place that makes you happy, so enjoy it. Moving on then to the reflection. So reflection is incorporated in your CBA, and I, as the examiner, will be looking closely for this reflection. And there are 2 ways in which reflection should be incorporated into your CBA, and this is really important to note. So number 1, your presentation should include some of your reflections on your experience of conducting the CBA 1 task and your topic, a place where I belong. So you're reflecting on the specific place. So make sure that you use features of reflection. And second, you will complete an individual reflection at the very end of your CBA. So you will complete an individual reflective piece and submit it after your presentation. So this will be a writing piece and it's to be done completely on your own, in your own words. Lastly then, your homework. So at the very end of this lesson, I gave out homework to the people who were in class. And for those of you who weren't, if you can, of course, do the homework before the next lesson. So finish off your reflection from lesson 1. So for those of you who were in class, you've already completed this at the end of class. But for those of you who weren't, if you can complete the reflection now after viewing the PowerPoint and bring it to your next class. Number 2, then I want you to start brainstorming what you might like to talk about. So for the next lesson, you must have a place chosen and 3 reasons why you've chosen this place. So I want you to tell me why this place is important to you in 3 bullet points. And finally, I want you to explore the class website and download some of the templates that will help you with your planning and preparation. So I want to thank you all for listening and going over this presentation. And I wish you the best of luck in your CBA work.